Hey guys, and welcome to another edition of Bioware Bae. I am Kate.
And I'm Jake.
So we're going to do a sort of everything we know so far about Anthem. So when we first started looking at this, when it got announced and stuff, we weren't infused, were we really?
I mean, no one goes to Bioware for multiplayer games.
Yeah, that was our criticism. As you know, like, we love the Bioware games and we like the RPG and all that. So when they were like, this isn't that much RPG, but it kind of is, we were like, But like we say, we've got a rundown of things, everything that we know so far that we think is relevant. And what kind of the tables are kind of turned in a bit. We're like, oh, actually,
yeah, they're getting us in a bit.
So we'll kick off with gameplay first of all. So it is absolutely no forced single player missions at all.
No.
4-man squad.
But it's also not forced multiplayer, which is good.
You can have up to 4 people. You don't need 4 people.
Mm-hmm. You can do it all by yourself if you want.
There's a 20-minute-ish, he said, depending on how good you are at the game, tutorial, which obviously will be a solo experience. Big thing, plot issue, microtransactions. There are microtransactions, but it's all purely cosmetics.
Mm-hmm. And no loot boxes. Like, you
Of
pay for
any
whatever
kind.
you want, which is good.
You cannot play the game offline.
Which
At all.
kind of makes sense.
Yeah, well, it's a multiplayer game.
Yep.
So, it is not set on Earth.
Yeah.
They didn't say where it's set, but it's definitely not Earth.
One thing they were very keen to get across in all their interviews was that it's a live service game. They haven't planned any sequels because they want to carry it on for as long as they possibly can. Which I think...
It's a good strategy.
If it works...
Yeah.
I'd like to see that in future kind of franchises, maybe.
It's got to be the right kind.
Yeah.
It's got to be the right kind. It's got to have that, like... I don't know. Because if it's pure RPG, there's only so far you can stretch it.
Yeah. I think the way that it'll happen is they'll need to make these cosmetic-only microtransactions the things that people will actually want to buy to keep funding the server.
Yeah. It's going to be... what's the word? Like... It's going to be for your javelin, which we'll move on to talk about javelins in a bit, but really, like, your suit is the only thing, really. Your suit and loadout, I can imagine, is the only thing you're going to want to customise.
Yeah.
So, when they're talking about cutscenes, someone asked if the cutscenes were all in first person, and they said not all cutscenes are. That's an interesting... bit weird that it's a mix.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll find out.
But at least you'll get to see your character.
I'll probably be ugly. Because I always am in Bioware games. I always look so sick in the crowd. I'm like, she looks really good. And then I get into the game and I'm like, I am hideous. Like, I'm actually hideous. No, tell a lie. You know, the only place I looked good was Dragon Age 2. Hawk looked so good. My Inquisitor's an abomination of God.
It's because you've only got 2 haircuts to pick from.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can destroy stuff in the environment, but that destruction's not permanent. You will go back and it'll be back.
That's pretty standard though.
Yeah.
I don't get why people made a big deal about that, because when is destruction permanent in a video game, really?
Never.
Like, I know, not like a multiplayer game. That's not a common occurrence, really.
No.
I don't know why people are like, this is bullshit.
There's no AI party members, no PvP.
That's the best part. Because
No 12-year-olds are going to come and shoot you.
This game gives off a Destiny vibe to me, like gameplay wise. And the gameplay of Destiny is so good. The PvP is trash. It is unbalanced. It's awful. So I'm quite happy there's no PvP in this. Yeah.
Crossplay, they're currently maybe...
Yeah, to be decided. They're waiting for Sony to pull the head out of their asses to say that they can crossplay.
Pretty much. Story's the core of the game because that's BioWare's new focus. Well, it's kind of always been their focus, but they're like really cracking down. Like, we are a company that is focused on stories, so it's the focus of this game too, even though it's a multiplayer game. There's a dialogue tree, but that it will be simpler than what we've seen in Mass Effect and Dragon Age.
I don't know. I think obviously I don't know about that. I think that makes me think maybe the character you play is not going to have that much of a personality. That's what that says to me. Like, it's very basic options. I feel like it's going to be, you know, like Dragon Ages 1, where you chose what order to say things, but it was just the one thing you could say.
Yeah.
So, like, it's not like Inquisition where you can say it in, like, angry, happy, crying, blah, blah, blah. I don't think it's going to be just basic answers to questions. Yeah. Which I'm not feeling that, but I guess we'll see.
Okay. There's no co-op story decisions and no local co-op. So if any of you played Star Wars Old Republic, the MMO, if you're in a team on that and you go into a cutscene, you'll like roll essentially for who gets to make the choice. Whereas in this, like all the story stuff you do by yourself in the hub. I'm
really interested to see how that's going to work. Yeah. Because they're pushing for this solo story experience, but then they're saying it's a shared world with your team, it's a shared story with your team, and that's two contradictory statements.
Yeah, like they've not really gone into much detail on it.
I don't know how it's going to work. I understand like having your own separate hub to go in and make decisions, but then that essentially is none of the decisions made inside the hub can come out into the open world. I don't know. I don't get how that's going to work. Yeah. But I guess we'll find out.
Who knows? So, and you can't steal each other's loot, which I'm devastated about.
No, see, I've played Sea of Thieves and I nearly put my fist through the TV screen. I'm not even going to lie.
I'm happy no one can steal my loot, but I'm sad that I can't steal certain other people's loot.
I think that's fair. I suppose maybe. Well, no, they can't. I was going to say maybe there could be an area where it's like, you know, like the dark zone from The Division, but there's not because we know what's coming in the later list, so there's not going to be. There's not going to be.
In terms of the character, everyone calls you freelancer. You're human. There is a character creator, which is good. I was worried about the character creator, but there is one. And it's a voiced protagonist with predetermined actors, like pretty much all of Bioware's games now.
Well, no, like there's no choice in voice. Yeah. That is what they said. There's no choice. So, like in Inquisition, you could have there's two voices, but you got the choice between the two. Where in this one, they said it's just one straight up voice, no choice, which is fine, I guess.
In terms of your javelin, the javelin's like a kind of.
It's in like an exosuit.
Yeah, it's a bit like an Iron Man suit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're quite small. It's not like Jaegers from Pacific Rim. It's quite small.
Well, they said they're not big enough to be classed as a mech.
Yeah. Colossus.
So there's 4. There's the Colossus,
which is like the tank.
Interceptor.
Like a rogue. It's like the Colossus is like big. It can take the damage. The Interceptor's kind of small. It's fast. Yeah. The Storm is essentially the mage.
Yeah, it's an elemental suit, but like I don't think there's magic in the game. But
no.
The word elemental makes me think magic, and they attack from afar. So
you'll probably find it's like blasted projectiles of like electricity, that kind of stuff, rather than like actual magic.
Or like a flamethrower and stuff like that. Yeah. And then the Rangers, just like your basic bitch class.
I feel like the Rangers kind of going to be the one, because all of these can be fully customised. You can add equipment onto them and stuff. But I feel like the Ranger's the one that you can probably mould to have elements of all the other 3 on the one suit, rather than playing the other 3 classes. Yeah. You can choose any of the suits at any time apart from mid-mission. So you can go back to the hub, change your suit out for your mission. That's the only place you can't change. It's when you're smack bang in the middle of a mission, which is fair, really.
They might add more classes. Well, they said specifically they're not classes, they're javelins, but they're classes.
They're classes, yeah.
They might add more classes after launch, but at launch it'll just be those 4. And you can't steal another player's javelin, and you can't decorate your javelin with emblems yet.
I imagine that will come in, like, when clans and stuff comes in. Yeah. If they bring clans. I don't see why they wouldn't bring a clan, because if you're always, like, the idea is you got to share this story with people.
Yeah. It depends how they do the shared world. Like, if it's a big server and you run into other players, I can see them bringing it in, but on all the gameplay demos, I've not seen them run into other players.
We were talking about that earlier, actually. That's what we were thinking, because we have never seen, in the videos that we watched, and we watched quite a few, we didn't see or even hear them mention other players on the server. So we are wondering if your team just gets its own server, and you're the only people, and that would kind of explain how they say you share the world and the actions affect the world. Because it would
kind
be
of like
easier.
a drop-in system. Like if I'm playing the game, I'll like start a server when I load up the game, and then like you guys can then join my game.
Yeah,
I think that might be how it works.
That seems pretty standard. But the thing with the suits, knowing that you can switch out the suits, I wonder if I get like all the different javelins have like a different role in combat, but I'm wondering if there's going to be things that you come up against in the world that you need a certain class of javelin for.
Yeah.
So like in Dragon Age, you can't open a chest if you're not a rogue.
Yeah. And you can't get rid of those barriers without a mage, stuff
so
like that.
I wonder if it's stuff like that, but then I don't know. I'd lean more towards no, because if you can play it on your own, that's a ball ache to keep going back to the hub, changing your suit.
Yeah, that's true.
Unless there's like stations around the open world where you can change your suit, it's just not mid-mission.
Yeah,
I guess we'll find out.
In terms of the world, they've described it as a vast open world that's hostile, dynamic, and ever-changing. Don't know how they're going to put that into effect, but okay.
And it's this thing about this shared landscape. Like we just said, is it all of us? Is it just our team, like our 4-player team? The shared landscape is what I'm not... See, I seem to remember... Now, I'm pretty sure I remember them saying, like, oh, if you kill this giant monster, its corpse stays there. Something like that. But then destruction's not permanent.
Yeah.
So,
it's kind of confusing how they've explained it.
There's a lot of contradictions in what they've explained. And I don't know. This shared landscape is what... I don't understand how you can have a game that's a solo story in a hub and a shared landscape in the open world without the two ever meeting. Yeah. That's what I don't... I'm not feeling. I'm not feeling this separation, because that's like two separate games. Like I don't know.
You go to the hub and they give you a mission, then you go out into the open world to do it. But that doesn't if it's a fully open world with other players, what's to stop them just coming in and doing it without going to the hub?
I don't know. I don't know.
This
is what's confusing because we see a Bioware game and we're like, Mass Effect, Dragon Age, Knights of the Republic, and this has come along and we're just there like,
what is this?
This doesn't compute to us in our head. We don't know. All regions are unlocked. Well, the whole map is unlocked. There's nowhere that you can't go. But it's
but
like...
But that you shouldn't go.
Yeah. It's like a Horizon Zero Dawn was like that.
Yeah.
Like, you could go anywhere, but you get to a place and it would be, like, red on the map, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
And it would be like, don't. just don't.
Just don't try it. So far, they've only confirmed a jungle landscape. There's no desert or snow.
They've denied desert and snow.
Mm-hmm.
So, forget about that if you're expecting anywhere other than the jungle.
And that really cool sequence where you can dive underwater and swim about and then come back up, that's all well and good, but you can't fight underwater.
There's no underwater combat, which... but there might be, like, underwater treasures.
Are they, like, guns or, like, energy guns, though? Because maybe there's, like, a lore reason, maybe.
Maybe. It's just laziness, probably. To be honest, I don't think fighting underwater does not sound like a good time to me.
No.
So.
You can fly quite high, but there's a limit to how high you can fly because the world has a layer of high turbulence around it.
They should have just used the Iron Man
super
thing.
Windy. Yeah.
Like, when he goes up so high and he hasn't perfected the suit, so the suit just drops. They should have just done that.
Yeah.
That's what they should have just said.
Really,
so...
So they've said about this personal story, but with the whole team narrative, again, they've not really explained what that means.
No.
Like, how can you have a story that's personal to you and also to your whole team, but it's all a single-player story that they don't experience
together? Like, you'll all be experiencing the same story, but in your own personal hubs.
Yeah. And
obviously, people will make different decisions. So, I
just don't get it.
Unless it's going to be like... So, for example, say, like, if this was Dragon Age, and in our hubs, we were like, oh, we're going to go fight Meredith.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I'm not siding with the Templars, but you're like, I'm going to side with the Templars. We both get there, we both have the same fight, but you get shown a different cutscene to me. You get shown a cutscene where you side with her, I get shown one where I kill her. That kind of thing, maybe.
Yeah.
But I don't know how far that will stretch. Again, it's just speculation. Yeah. We don't know. We're scrambling for some, like, We don't understand. We don't know what's going on.
There are large-scale world events as well, such as Shaper Storms.
They showed that storm and
I was really excited,
amazing.
And then they flew into the storm and the trailer ended, and I was like, oh.
It looked so good.
Okay.
Like, it all went dark and you could, like, hear it coming. And then the absolute madmen were like, should we fly into it? Yeah. And they just did, and me, like, what? Like, don't fly into it. That's really cool.
Mm.
That's cool. Like, again, it's like the public events in Destiny.
Yeah.
But, like, it actually does something to the map. It's not just, like, this spider bot's dropped for the 10,000th time in your Destiny experience. That's really cool. I imagine there'll be, like, monsters that spawn. That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That'll be sick. I'm selling this game to myself because I'm talking about it. I'm like, you know what, actually, that sounds pretty sick.
In terms of lore, because we all know that I'm a big lore nerd by now. So one of the trailers says that the gods had vanished and left behind the anthem, and they make it sound like the anthem's kind of like a tool or a weapon, maybe.
I'm sure I heard that somewhere. I'm 100% positive that I watched a video where somebody said the anthem is a tool that the god left behind. And
that it's been used before to destroy civilizations.
Mm-hmm.
Someone in one of the trailers says that there's something out there that wants to destroy everything.
That's behind the wall. Like, if you watch Attack on Titan, it seems like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, they're all in the wall and they're convinced the walls will keep them safe. But there's something on the outside of the wall. And the freelancers are the people that go out, get the supplies, sort stuff out, while everyone else kind of hides behind the wall.
I think in terms of lore, I think it'll be a really interesting game.
I hope, like we've talked about this before in other videos, but I hope it's not one of those games where the lore is in everything by the game. I hope it's not one of those games where you gotta go and read books, you gotta go and read like cards on the website. I hope the lore is in the game.
Yeah.
Because it would just be such a boring... it's already a stripped back RPG.
Yeah.
But if there's hardly any lore, that's just a waste of time.
Yeah. One of the interesting pieces of lore that they've revealed so far is about the Legion of Dawn. There was a General Tarsus, which the hub city is named after, and she fought something. She gave her life to save humanity. Yeah. And so I think it's your pre-order, you get the javelins all styled after her armour and a gun. So I don't know if it's just a gun skin or the actual gun. It's probably the gun. Yeah. Based after her. It's just a little pre-order EA on its bullshit, straight up. There's no microtransactions, but if you pre-order, you can have this. That's what it is, straight up. Oh my god. Enemies. There is a type of enemy called a Scar. They were very explicit in stating that they're not aliens. They said aliens are the wrong terminology for these. Which makes me just think that they're the critters that are from that world. Because all alien means is it's not from there. Yeah, true. Or they could be whatever the anthem does, maybe it's just mutated. It could be. Like people. Yeah. Maybe. We don't know what the anthem actually is. The as well as, so we got the scars, there's confirmed there's ancient beasts, and in one of the trailer, there is this huge thing, and it looks like it's going to stomp on the player, but then the rest of the team comes away, but it cuts off, you don't really get to see much of it. And there's also people who are after the anthem for themselves. Yeah. And we got a glimpse of a guy in one of the recent trailers. He looks like he's probably going to be the final boss. He does have a very boss-like feel to him. But, I don't know, I think he wants the anthem, and he says something like, I'm going to end this. And I'm wondering, maybe there's something else. Is he a bad guy? There's something else, is something bigger that no one wants to actually deal with. Yeah. And he's just like, I've had enough of this shit, I'm going to take the anthem. But everyone's like, you can't take the anthem, bro, that's not done. I think a running theme in Bioware's games is there's always a bigger threat. Yeah. So it wouldn't surprise me if he wanted the anthem to deal with a bigger threat. Yeah, that seems. Yeah, it's the way it's the way he says it in the we're in too deep. We're watching all these trailers, we're getting all into it, but yeah, we'll see. In terms of hubs, there are two hubs kind of. There's your main hub, which is Fort Tarsus, and that's protected by walls. That's where most of your story will take place, and then there's a mini storytelling hub called a Strider, which is like a walker. It's like a forward base. It's an app. Yeah, and it's they're saying it's a story base,
so only your character will be in this base, and it's like they said, that's where most of the storytelling happens.
Yeah.
So
the hubs are where you experience your choices and your consequences. In terms of NPCs, there's agents who give you missions, so they've all got their own storylines. And then there's also your pit crew. You can develop relationships with those,
but not romances.
You can't bang people, which the entire Bioware fandom is fuming.
They'll add that in.
Yeah.
They will 100% add that in, because everyone will be like, it's not the same though, is it? Like, it's not the same. I think the pit crew is going to be like...
Why can't I bang them in my hub?
Is that a euphemism?
Yeah.
To be fair, like, in any Bioware romance, like, you only go to their, like, one room and talk to them there. And most of the majority
on the Normandy, or in Hawk's house, or on the Tempest, or in the Skyhold. Like, in the hub.
In the hub.
Enough. Like, I don't get why they didn't put that in. Because they know that's what, like...
Everyone thirsts playing
a lot
games.
Of people play Bioware games.
Me and you, as soon as like whenever a Dragon Age game like gets announced and they're like putting all the trailers out, me and you choose who we're gonna romance before the games even come out.
Like, there were the pictures, like.
Yeah, literally, like, and then they were like, remember when they were like, Cullen's now a party, like, and I was like, praise Jesus. 3 games, but they finally give us what we deserve. Yeah, I don't know. I think that will be. I think they're not concerned about that, because that's not what this game's jam is.
Yeah.
I don't think they see it as an RPG. They see it as like a multiplayer game with RPG elements.
Yeah.
It's not an RPG. And that's our problem, because that's all we can see it as.
True.
I think the agents are going to be pretty straightforward. Again, like, the agents will be like the vanguards in Destiny, where you go to your agent, they give you the mission. The pit crew are going to be like your crew in any other Bioware game, where they're going to be the ones that are like your friends.
Yeah.
But obviously you can't take them with you, because there's no AI companions at all. You can't bring these people out. So that's going to be an interesting sort of...
I just hope they're interesting.
Do you know how like they always seem to work in basically any Bioware game, where you only kind of get new interactions after a big mission?
Yeah.
Now I wonder if that's going to be the same, because on a game like that, it's going to be pretty annoying to have to take to keep going back every single time.
Yeah.
So I hope the dialogue stacks if that's the case.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Because that would be just so annoying. We're focusing on the bad now. We're not here to talk about the bad. We all hoped. So
in terms of a demo, there's a VIP demo which starts on the 25th of Jan. If you want to become a VIP player, you need to pre-order the game, have Origin access or EA access. One of those 3 things. If you pre-order digitally, you don't need a code, but if you pre-order via a retailer, you will need a code.
The open demo starts on the 1st of February and it runs to the 3rd of February. These 2 demos are exactly the same. You get an item for being a VIP, but we don't know what that is. The demo will... you'll start at level 10. You can only reach level 15, but your progress does not carry on in the main game. The javelins, you'll start with the ranger, and there's going to be access to one of the javelin, but they haven't said which one it is. So the hub is accessible, but I think it's only the main hub, not the story hub.
Not the little one.
So.
And then they're going to make a few different mission types available, including story missions and a stronghold, so you can get a real taste of the range of stuff that it's got to offer, which I think is quite a good thing. Yeah. The game actually launches on the 22nd of February, so it's not that far away, really. No. I'm hyped to, because like we said at the start, like when this game launched, we were appalled. We were like, a multiplayer game from BioWare? When I saw the trailer for this game, I was like, I'm not interested at all, but I need to buy it to give BioWare money to make Dragon Age 4. Yeah. But now we know Dragon Age is happening. This is like methadone. Yeah. This is like us getting to Dragon Age. Could be our methadone. I think it'll be fun. I think if it can do what Destiny does, but better. Yeah. It'll because I love the idea of Destiny. I love the gameplay so much, but the story's just so terrible. So if this can go that one step further and actually bring the story into that kind of game, this will change gaming. I hope so.
Like, having a multiplayer game that you play with your friends that also has a really in-depth, rich story that is just your own story. That's immense. Imagine how great that would be.
I think Bioware's taken a really risky gamble with it, and I really hope it pays off for them. Because I think, on paper, the idea is fantastic.
But if it can work or not.
Yeah.
I think there's always that risk of how do you balance the two enough? Like, I don't know. Well, we're going to have to wait and see, because there's not much else we can say. I mean, that's pretty much all we could really gather that was important.
I just hope it doesn't flop, because if it flops, I can see EA being like, bye bitches.
If this game flops and they cancel Dragon Age 4, I don't know what there is left for us to live for.
Nothing. I'll just fade away.
I don't know.
My mum will come in my room one day and there'll just be a pile of clothes on the floor.
Hopefully it does well. I think it will do well, because I think it'll appeal to we are RPG fans.
Yeah.
But obviously a lot of people aren't. A lot of people don't want to play like a 400-hour game, but they want to play a multiplayer game with shoot bang bangs. I think this is trying to appeal to the other, like the part of the fandom that they haven't got to.
Yeah.
Like not the RPG, like they're kind of trying to please everyone and get more people into the.
I think it'll attract that part of the gaming community. It'll attract people who are just curious to try this new type of gaming.
Yeah.
And I think most of the Bioware, like if you're a hardcore Bioware fan, you'll end up playing it.
We can't resist. That's our trouble.
Exactly.
Like at the
like
start,
I said when it came out, I was like, I'm
no.
not playing that rubbish, and now I'm like,
it actually looks pretty
pre-order.
good. You don't need to pre-order because you've got EA access, so you'll have the demo. I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to get our hands on the demo, maybe stream it, maybe do some recording of it, and then kind of we'll come back with what we think about the demo, what we can infer from the demo, because we're very curious about this game. We'll definitely be bringing this one back to the channel. Mm-hmm. So thank you very much for watching, guys. We will see you on the other side of the Anthem demo. Bye.
If you like that video and want to see more like it, then click this playlist button here. If you happen to want to subscribe to us and check out all our content, then click this amazing sexy button right here. Look how enticing it is. You know you want to click it. And if you're already subscribed to us, well then you are already an awesome human being.